And welcome everyone to the Dark Pod 24. This is episode 6. And today, what I want to talk to you about is this is going to be some vital information for veterans and their families who are suffering from medical conditions from service, right? So now that the wars have spun down, Iraq, Afghanistan, Africa, etc., I'm almost certain that there's probably some of you veterans out there, right? It's having some back problems, maybe some head problems, maybe some other types of problems going on with you guys. Knees, et cetera, et cetera. For myself, it was migraines, man, migraines, concussions. I was in a couple different, really close to a couple bombs that went off, and one of them knocked me out on one of my tours. But yeah, man, so I started developing these really bad headaches, right? So I'm going to cover three things, right? So first, the VA's duty to assist, the all encompassing Nexus letter, and then C and P exams. All right. So first off, let's talk about the VA's duty to assist. So the duty to assist is the legal obligation, man, that the VA has to help veterans develop their claims, right, for VA benefits, right. This includes obtaining evidence. The VA will make all reasonable efforts to obtain evidence, meaning search out your medical records that support your claim, right? So, excuse me, such as VA medical records, private medical records, all types of medical records, and you have to sign a couple different forms with the VA to really get the ball rolling with them. But a lot of it's also going to depend on you, man. So, there's also okay. So, for those of you who don't know, on July 12th, 1973, there was a humongous fire at the National Records. All right, which destroyed tons or between 16 and 18 million military records, right? So that includes Army personnel discharged between November 1st, 1912, all the way to January 1st, 1960. And then for the Air Force, those are records with surnames from Hubbard to Z, right? And they were discharged between September 25th, 1947 and January 1st, 1964. Okay, so providing so the VA, they will provide medical examinations, right? The VA may provide medical examinations or obtain medical records or medical opinions. They're going to notify the veteran. Everything's by mail, snail mail. They're not going to email you. They're not going to call you. Everything's going to be through the U.S. mail, which is odd in itself. But okay, so that's how they notify you, right? Whether or not evidence exists or does not exist. But the VA will exhaust all reasonable efforts to locate whatever records that are out there, and they will notify you, either yay or nay, right? So the VA's duty to assist actually, I'll give you a couple examples of where it does not apply, okay? So the evidence of records allows the VA to award the maximum benefit, okay? Next is the claimant is ineligible for benefits sought, meaning I'm going to claim, tell you about my ears, but you were never around gunfire or you're never around loud noises, so you can't claim that you're half deaf due to your military service if you were never around anything. But the majority of us have been around loud noises in the military. It's machines, it's bombs, guns, whatever, right? So a lot of times, guys like me, I should probably get some earpieces help me hear as well. But okay, so also what I wanted to brief you guys was that, remember, it's also up to you to gather your records. So the VA, they have the duty to care, a legal obligation to try and assist you to develop your claim. However, this is what you can do as veterans. This is what I did, right? So you go to www.nara.gov, right? This is the National Archives. And I mean, man, apply for everything, or lady, or anything in between. You want to apply for everything you possibly can. Your medical records, your military records, whatever records that may be out there about you to help develop your claim. You want to gather all that stuff. It's for free. They mail it to you. You'll get stacks of hard copies of records, which I did. I got a big stack of records, man, and I always have those, right? I'll always have those hard copies. Okay, so we went over the duty to care. Now, next thing I want to go over is the Nexus letter. Okay, so the famous Nexus letter. I never knew what these things were when I was developing my claim. Right, I learned the hard way, and it was a long road. So, a VA Nexus letter, also known as the independent medical opinion, is a medical document that establishes a connection between a veteran's military service and their current medical condition. The Nexus letter is the most crucial part of the evidence that can help a veteran develop a VA disability claim, right? And here are some key points to Nexus letters, okay? Who writes it? It needs to be a qualified medical professional, right? Such as a physician. So if you have private insurance, you have a primary care provider, you're going to have them write it for you. Okay. What it does. So the Nexus letter explains how the veteran's current medical condition is related to their military service. The what of the Nexus letter is the letter explains how the veteran's current condition is related to their military service, okay, and when to submit it. So a Nexus letter can be submitted with an initial application for either compensation or pension, depending upon what your specific issue is. But you do need that letter that bridges the gap between those two, right? How much can a Nexus letter cost? Well, that depends, right? I'll give you the Air Force answer. That depends. It could cost between $500 and $3,000, depending on the complexity of the case and the provider's expertise. Okay, and what it includes. A successful Nexus letter includes a review of the veteran's medical history, supporting evidence, references to medical research, and specific statement confirming the doctor's medical opinion. Okay, Nexus letter can be especially important if no medical records were provided with the application. Meaning, like say you were in those time frames that I gave you because of the fire in Missouri. You don't have any medical records. You don't have any military records. Okay, so you're going to have to kind of play it by ear, and then now you're going to have to try and get you're going to have to try and obtain witness statements. So guys, maybe you haven't talked to 10, 20, 40, 50 years. You're going to have to try, hey, try and get a hold of them, try and find them. It's usually pretty easy in this day and age, though, with social media. It's not too difficult to find somebody out there. So you can track them down, get their sworn statements, put it together, get your Nexus letter, put all this together. Even if you have no medical records showing, hey, I was blown up here or injured there, Vietnam, Korea, go for the last wars. It just all depends, man. So, but the Nexus letter is very important. It is the link between the condition and your military service, okay? It's the link between the condition that you're currently dealing with and the military service. Okay, then that's going to send you off to the compensation and pension exam, which is a medical evaluation, typically by a third-party place. And again, they're going to be notifying you by mail, okay? You do not want to miss your CMP exam. That's very important. All the stuff you're going to go through to build the case, right, to build the claim of why you deserve some type of military disability, right? This is going to be the person that determines your percentage. Very experienced, typically. Black and white, they typically really, like I remember I went to a CMP, it took me maybe 30 minutes. The guy just asked me, hey, headaches, what's going on? Migraines 3-4 times a week. I'm talking postulating. I'm on the ground. Oh my God, my head hurts so bad. I've been to the ER probably 12 times in the past 5 years because of migraines. I thought my brain popped, right? Okay, boom, boom, boom. I get him a lot. He just did a quick evaluation of it and submitted to the VA his recommendation, and it was fair for me. Okay, so the purpose of the CMP is this exam helps the VA establish a medical link between the veteran's condition and their military service. And that link is required for veterans to qualify for VA benefits. Now you start getting with the percentages, right? Such as the disability compensation or pensions. Okay, who is eligible? So the VA will only ask a veteran to have a CMP exam if they need more information to decide their claim. So if a veteran has enough medical evidence in their file, the VA will follow the acceptable clinical evidence process instead, right? What to expect there. The exam can be conducted at the VA or by a contract examiner. It can last from 10 minutes to multiple hours. Like I said, mine lasts about 30 minutes, right? What do you do if you can't attend? No, you must attend. I'm telling you right now, do not. Then it just diminishes the claim that you're trying to make, right? So no matter what, wedding, funeral, whatever, do not miss your CMP exam. It's very important that you stay consistent and you stay along that timeline. But they say, if you if you can't attend your exam, you should contact the medical facility directly to reschedule. And you can also call the nearest regional office or VA hotline, the 1-800-827-1000 number. That was the number that I gave you in episode 2, which is the VA's direct line, right? So how long does it take to get a decision? Well, once again, I'll give it the Air Force answer, right? That depends. But a VA rating, granted, your Nexus letters in, they have your medical information, everything, witness statements, whatever it is to prove, hey, for example, my knee, I can barely walk because I had my knee blown apart or some kind of damage, or a lot of guys lower back, right? Humping all that weight. Lower back, hard for me to get up, pain, slip discs. Okay, and it's reported in your medical history when you were in the military. Oh, I hurt my back. But it's all there, man. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be, right? It could take anywhere between 90 to 120 days after you finished your final C&P exam. The ball gets rolling after that. The hard part is gathering all this information. But like I said, the good thing is the VA does have the duty to care, right? So just to rehash, man, like I said, I'm just giving you guys a couple things to consider, right? So first, I went over the VA's duty to care, right? They have a legal obligation to help veterans with their claims, and they will. They absolutely will, man. I've been dealing with the VA now for about a good 10 years. No bad stories, no horror stories for me, man. They absolutely help me out. Absolutely help. They're so squared away now. All right, then we discussed the most important piece, right? Your Nexus letter, the link between service and the current condition. Current condition, right? And you always want to talk about when you go to your C. Oh, I'm sorry, we covered the C&P exams, right? So I forgot to mention when you go to a C&P exam, what you want to do is describe your condition, not the best day, but the worst day. The worst day that you had that you experience, or if you have a number of those types. All right, because they'll start the conversation. Hey, how are you? Well, fine. They're gonna annotate. Oh, hey, so and so was fine. He looked well dressed. He's shaven. Blah blah. I'm not trying to say sell it or milk it. You know what I mean? But what I want you to do is describe the condition on your worst day. That's what you need to be talking about when you talk to these C&P examiners. Okay. Like I said, for me, the migraines, man, postulated on the ground in the dark, hours for hours. Man, I was taking anything I possibly could to get that migraine going away. I don't know. I still get them. I get them just randomly, which made it difficult for me to hold down a job. Imagine calling in sick 3 days a week, calling in sick sometimes 2-3 days a week. You're only granted 30 days of sick leave on average for the year, man. And I blew through those like in the first couple of months because of the headaches, right? And it became difficult for me to work. So I'm just giving you guys some examples and just those three things to consider. The VA's duty to assist. Don't think you're going to get screwed over. Your Nexus letter and also your C&P exam. And like I said, and also go to www.nara.gov, that's the National Archives, to obtain your own records, man. Get your own physical copies of these. So you can back it up a lot quicker, right? So when you develop that claim to submit, it's all right there. You have it all ready to go. Boom, C&P exam, typically 30 days later. And then after your C&P comprehension exam, 90 to 120 days, you're done. And hopefully they will determine that you have a vital claim to whatever issue it was that happened in the military that you're currently dealing with now as a medical condition. All right, guys. Hey, this is Jamie with the Dark Pod 24, episode 6 today, and which is the vital information for veterans who are filing for claims. All right, guys. Hey, see you next time.